Yo, what is up guys, it is Infected Survivor here, and we are back at it again, yet again, with the character review series for Garden Warfare 2. Today marks a very special point in the series, as it is going to be our first legendary character. Also probably the worst one, but it is the first one as well. We are going to be reviewing Disco Chomper today, the first of many Chompers of the series. But we're going to kickstart this episode with Disco Chomper. So again, as I've not done a Chomper before, I will talk you through the abilities, and I'm also going to talk you through Disco Fever as well for this character. So in terms of the abilities, the goops, I've always preferred the regular goop over the super sticky goop, but it is realistically it's not going to be doing that much difference. I just prefer this one. Always use this borrow over sprint borrow. Don't use sprint borrow. There's no point. It seems fast, but it's just no point using it. Useless ability. Never use sprint borrow. To be honest, I wouldn't even use sprint borrow on armor chomper. It's that bad. And spike weeds, I do believe by a mile that vamp weed is easily the best spike weed. Yes, it does not damage the enemy, but it does give you health back. And I would prefer having the health over the damage, because you're going to be eating the enemy from the spike weed anyway. So I do recommend, if you see vamp weed in the shop and you play chompers or are going to be maxing a lot of chompers, I would go to Rooks and spend 500 grand on it. So now that's out of the way, we are now going to look at Disco Chomper himself. Now Disco Chomper is one of a lot of chompers in this game. I do think Chomper is probably the weakest class for the plants overall, just because it's very limited in what they can do. And just because Disco Chomper is a legendary doesn't make him any difference. Now, Disco Chomper himself is pretty much just regular Chomper, but with Disco Fever. Now, again, Chompers overall are just not that great. They don't have any range. They can only pretty much bite people up close, and I just think Chompers are quite a weak class. And when I was promoting Chompers, and because obviously I upgraded every character to get max rank, it was a lot of them were just boring, because a lot of them are just pretty much the same. Like this guy is quite literally just reg Chomper with Disco Fever. And again, he's similar to like all Chompers play the same. They all just have a different gimmick, and this guy's gimmick is a legendary mode. And now I'm going to tell you about the legendary mode itself. It is not the best. It's horrific, to be honest. It is dreadful, because in order to charge it, you can't just bite people. You have to actually swallow them, which is quite stupid really, because there's a lot of times where I'm getting kills when I was doing this character when it was just biting them and not swallowing them, which therefore doesn't charge the legendary meter. I also don't really see the point in the legendary meter. Like, I think it lets you have a little bit extra damage and you move quicker, but if you want to move quicker, then you might as well just use like Hot Rod Chomper or Twilight Chomper, just a faster Chomper than this guy. So I don't really, I just think that I just think this character is quite pointless, because the legendary mode, you don't, I mean, it's a cool tune, you get a really nice music from it, but that's it. It doesn't really do much else beneficial. Like, yeah, you get the speed, but just use Hot Rod or Twilight or someone that's quick. There's no point in this character in the game, to be honest, because he is Reg Chomper with a legendary mode that doesn't do anything. I mean, yeah, so you can already probably tell that I don't like this character. I don't like most Chompers, and this guy is no exception. It's just an awful character, to be honest. I mean, he is no different to Reg Chomper and most Chompers. So you're not really going to be getting anything. It's just nothing special. It's like when you get a legendary out of a pack, it's like so good. The feeling's so good. You get the little tune to it. It's just great. But then when you see this guy, you just think you'd just rather have a hat or a cosmetic over an actual character, and when that's happening, it's quite tragic. So yeah, we're just gonna jump straight into a game, Team Vanguard, and try out Disco Chomper. I'll try and get the legendary mode, but I cannot promise that, as you have to swallow people, which is one reason why the legendary mode is not that good. If you could bite people, then I think it would make the character overall a bit better, because a lot of the times, like I say, I am getting kills by just biting people, and it's just not charging it, and it's just like, I feel like it should be, because I'm still killing them. And this Chomper as a whole, against groups of zombies, and especially engineers, is very bad. I mean, we're struggling to kill versus the AI. That pretty much sums up Chompers, to be honest. I just think Chomper class overall, like, it's just full of people who just burrow and then just go after a person, kill them, and then the Chomper usually ends up just dying. Which, there you go, it's already happened. And I'm getting, okay. Anyway. So I just think Chompers are just very, very weak as a class. I think there's some that are quite good, but this guy's not. Disco Chomper is just not that great. The legendary mode is pointless. It's quite hard to get the legendary mode, because you actively have to hunt people down and swallow them. You can't spite them. I suppose technically this guy is better than Reg Chomper, but overall I would rate Reg Chomper better than this guy, just based on the fact that this guy is a legendary that is not even that legendary at all. That's what makes this guy so bad. The fact that he's a legend that seems just pointless. No purpose to the guy. So yeah, so overall, I wouldn't recommend using this character over most Chompers. I just think it's not that great at all. I guess like with burrow and stuff, Chompers are still usable. Like 33 damage a bite is a reason that you use, well, I personally use the bite, but it just doesn't charge the meter. We should get Disco Fever here, hopefully. I'm honestly just gonna run. So yeah, the tune is sick, to be honest. Like, the tune is sick. It's an absolute bop. This is literally what I do when I got Disco Fever. I just ran around and hid, to be honest, ran away from the zombies because I just wanted to listen to the tune, because you don't get it very often. Even though it is only literally 4 kills. 4 kills when you're just burrowing people is not that, it's quite, can be quite challenging. And this is a classic example of a suicide chomp. Yeah, just don't use this character, to be honest. Unless if you're going for max rank, then you're gonna have to use this guy. But if you're not, and you're not bothered about getting max rank, there's no point. I mean, you can try him by all means, but in terms of getting him to max rank, I would not bother. You might as well just do Reg Chomper, because you just get him at the start of the game, and he's literally the same character, except without Disco Fever. And if anything, that makes him a better character. So yeah, Disco Chomper, not the best. He's not the worst Chomper, I'll give him that. He's not the worst Chomper, there are worse Chompers than him. But it's not good. Just don't play Chompers, overall. There's a few Chompers that I would play. I personally like Twilight Chomper. I like the what's he called? Vampire Chomper? Twilight, is it Twilight? I'm not sure what that. Count Chompilla, that's it. I'll play Count Chompilla, Twilight, and Hot Rod. I personally wouldn't play any of the others. In fact, in saying that, I quite like Power Chomper, but all the others are kind of naff. Anyway, Disco Chomper upgrades. Again, fairly standard upgrades. He does get a super meter upgrade, but I'm pretty sure you still have to get 4 player kills. And I think what this does is, like, instead of, I think it charges up quicker if you can. I think it's like you can get 3 player kills and like an AI, so you can kill like a brown coat or whatever. But half the time you're not really going to be swallowing brown coats. But I guess it's a decent upgrade, but I prefer double digestion damage, because again I quite like biting people as a Chomper, just because I think it can kill them a bit quicker than just swallowing them and being a suicide Chomper. So I personally run double digestion damage, but the super meter upgrade is an option. Again, health, don't bother running health. I guess you could run speed as well as a Chomper, but I personally prefer these 3 on this character. But super meter and speed could be useful. So I don't have much else to say about this guy, to be honest. So to be honest, I think we're going to wrap it up. So overall, this guy just seems a bit of a pointless legendary character. I don't really see the point in this guy, other than that you get the fun tune to listen to when you've killed like 4 people. I guess that's kind of good, but other than that, it just seems like Reg Chomper, but a legendary that is quite difficult to obtain. Because I actually don't think you can actually buy this character either. I don't think you can actually, like, real money, because most of the legends I think you can actually purchase them, but I don't think you can with Disco Chomper. Not that I would recommend to buy him anyway, but I wouldn't recommend to buy any of the legendaries, because even if you're like me and going for max rank, I still unlocked all of the legendary characters without buying the packs, like in the actual shop. You can still unlock them through the game. There's no point buying them. The only one that you're going to need to buy is Z7 and Twilight if you didn't already have them unlocked, if you're going for max rank. But yeah, this character is pretty much Reg Chomper, but a legendary. I wouldn't recommend using him unless you're going for leveling up. But yeah, his tune's cool, but other than that, just a pretty pointless character, to be honest. I can't lie. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed my very positive review on Disco Chomper, clearly my favourite character. So if you did like, then please do drop a like. Please do subscribe if you are new to the channel, and leave below any suggestions you want for any characters you would like to see next. If you do leave a suggestion, I will do the character. I'll do the comments. So yes, I really appreciate each and every person for watching the series. So yeah, thank you very much. Peace out.